Welcome back to Eatsy, where if we can make beef chow fun, then so can you. Beef chow fun is a beloved Cantonese dish that combines wide, silky rice noodles with tender slices of beef, creating a savory and satisfying meal. It looks like it takes a lot more preparation to make than it actually does, so if you're entertaining guests, it's an easy way to present an impressive looking dish without crazy amounts of effort. While the classic version features beef, you could substitute chicken, seafood, or even tofu if you're entertaining guests with different dietary requirements. Before we leap into the cooking process, we have 3 quick little tips for you. The first is about the bean sprouts. Restaurants will often remove the tips of the bean sprouts in order to have a cleaner presentation. We did this in our video as well, but it takes a little while to do, and you don't have to if you really don't want to. But it will make your finished dish a bit more polished.
Nice.
Then the noodles. If you can find a place that sells freshly made rice noodles, that would be ideal. Fresher noodles will be softer and squishier in their packaging. But the dish is so flavorful that if you can't find freshly made noodles, it's not the end of the world. Always pick the softer package if you have a choice. Fresher noodles will ultimately be better, of course. And our last little tip is about the beef. Always cut across the muscle fibers. This will allow for more tender beef and for more flavor to be cooked into the meat. You can also use whatever cut of beef you like. You'll need about 180 grams or 6 ounces. Remember to cut the beef across the tissues so that it'll be more tender when your dish is completed. With your beef in a bowl, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of baking soda. The baking soda helps to tenderize the beef, so even if you don't have the finest cut, it'll still turn out soft and tender in the end. We're then going to add 1 teaspoon of oyster sauce, and then 1 teaspoon of dark soy sauce, which will help with the color and presentation. Then 1 teaspoon of regular soy sauce, then half a teaspoon of sugar, and finally 1 heaping teaspoon of cornstarch. Mix all of that together thoroughly. Next, in a small bowl, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of light soy sauce. Then 1 tablespoon of dark soy sauce, and half a tablespoon of sugar. Then make sure you hit the subscribe button and stir all that mixture together. We're going to be using it to flavor our noodles later. Next, we're going to prepare our green onions. You can either use 1 very large onion like we did. Auntie grows these in her garden behind their house. Or if you don't have a giant one like this, use about 3 small ones from the grocery store. Cut the onions in half lengthwise, and then cut the lengths into about 3-inch sections. This will allow the flavor to cook into the dish quickly. We're also going to need about 4 cloves of garlic. Squish them flat underneath a knife and then dice them up. Next on our list of vegetables is half a red onion. Cut it into long slices. The last vegetable is the bean sprouts. As mentioned, we take the nibs off both ends of the beans just to give them a better presentation in the dish overall. This task is a little bit tedious, so if you don't really want to, it's not going to hurt anything in the long run. Next, let's move on to the noodles. After you remove them from the package, they're probably going to be stuck together a little bit. Carefully peel them apart so that when we cook them, they all get flavor evenly. Now let's head over to the stove. In a lightly oiled pan over high heat, we're going to add in all our beef that we had prepared earlier. Give it a quick stir, and then we're going to add in all the red onions. And then we'll add in the green onions. Cook all that together until the beef is almost finished. When the beef is nearly browned, remove it from the pan and set it aside in a bowl. We're going to be adding it back into the pan later, so we won't want to overcook the beef. Add some new oil to the pan, and then we're going to dump in all our noodles. When they've had a little bit of a chance to heat up, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of the mixture that we had prepared earlier. Stir the noodles around so that they're evenly coated by the mixture. Add in your garlic, and if you see any noodles stuck together, make sure you separate them with your spatula or cooking tool. Then we can add our beef and onions back into the noodles. Give it a quick little toss just to make sure they're mixed, and then you can add in about 1 cup of your bean sprouts. Don't leave it over the heat too long after this, because we want to preserve the crispiness of the bean sprouts. Finally, you can transfer it to your serving bowl. And there you have it, beef chow fun! Here we've served it as a complete meal alongside bowls of rice, our smack cucumber, and Chinese braised ribs. You can find the recipe for the smack cucumber in our 5 Chinese side dishes video on our playlist. And the braised ribs will be coming out shortly, so make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss it. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like so that we know you enjoy this type of content. If you tried making beef chow fun at home, please let us know in the comments how it went for you. And as always, thank you so much for watching.